Hi, my name is Becky and welcome back to the Meno Wellness Kitchen.
Hi, I'm Sorka and we are menopause champions and I am a trained menopause chef. We're delighted to have you back with us today. In every video, we try to bring you recipes that are super quick, super easy to follow, because when you're in the middle of menopause, you've got the fatigue, you've got the brain fog, your motivation is gone. So trying to get yourself loaded into learning a new recipe is tricky, and then you're putting the carton back, taking it back out of the bin every few minutes going, what was the instructions on that again? So our recipes and our videos do try to be as easy and as quick as possible. The less prep time, the better. We're usually under 20 minutes. So yeah, we want to try and get people away from the processed foods and the takeaways and things like that, because they're really what's hurting our bodies and affecting our hormones, and we need to get back to cooking for ourselves.
Like, life is hard enough, and then if you're going through something like menopause and how difficult it is, like throw in the fact of what you're going to be going through, like the rages, fatigue, constipation, bloatedness, pain. Like, am I forgetting anything here? I'm probably forgetting a lot of stuff.
There's 30 odd. I think there's nearly 40 different ones. Yeah.
But concentrating on our food is something that can really kind of help in such a long way. It can go such a long way to help your symptoms. Like, we're absolutely not claiming at all that it's a fix-all. If it was, everybody would be running for the broccoli in the morning. But it isn't. But it can absolutely help manage your symptoms and stop exacerbating them.
True. And most importantly with our recipes, they have to pass the taste test. I don't know about you, but I'm a fussy eater. I'm a fussy eater. It has to be tasty. It has to be easy to do. It has to be easy to find ingredients in the supermarket. I'm not traipsing around for 2 hours looking for an ingredient. And it has to be something that he's going to like, and it's not too exotic that I don't recognize the ingredients. It doesn't take half a day to make either. So if it doesn't pass the taste test, we won't be giving it to you. So we can pretty much sure that all of our recipes have passed our taste test. And I particularly can't eat dairy, and I can't eat gluten. So it's tricky to find recipes that are tasty, easy to do, and meet all that criteria. So we will do our best to bring you those tasty recipes.
So today we're going to bring you a slant on a family favourite. It's spaghetti bolognese. But the catch is, so we made it with using soya mince instead of a regular beef.
So stay with us here, because pre-menopause, if you had told me about a meatless meal, I would have switched off right now. We reluctantly tried this recipe, but we were extremely pleasantly surprised, as you'll see later. But definitely I don't tell people that it's a meatless recipe before I actually give it to them, because it just, because they have preconceptions about it, and they'll automatically, especially kids, will go, no, I don't like that, I don't know it, whatever, so. And even with textures can be funny with kids as well. So, and I'm still a kid myself. So yeah, the texture is important to me too. So yeah, I don't admit that it's a meatless alternative. But yes, anyway, the benefits are.
The major benefits here as well with the recipe is that the reduction in red meat can help lower cholesterol, struggle with that one. You don't want it anyhow. So it can help reduce your weight, but then also it's great for the environment too. Like, it's proven if you only have an intake of red meat once a week, you're actually helping to lower the carbon emissions as well, like what it takes to slaughter animals. So there's 2 for 1 there. Increasing then, opening up then your diet as well to more soya products. Like, soy mimics estrogen, so that's helping to kind of put back some things that you're losing through the menopause process. And then when you start using alternative ingredients like soy, it just opens you up to so much more you can have. And the market out there at the moment with soy alternatives is brilliant.
So this recipe is jam-packed full of vegetables, and we need to have the vegetables for our fibre. So the fibre is definitely one that will help combat the constipation, which is a huge factor for a lot of women with menopause. And you need to have that diversity there, your 5 a day. So if you're having berries 5 times a day, it doesn't really count as your 5 a day. It has to be different things all the time.
That catches everybody out.
Yeah, it does. So the diversity, I'm not a lover of mushrooms, but I chop them down real fine, and then they reduce down in the sauce. So I don't notice them.
I began to really appreciate mushrooms since we started doing this.
I No, me
I
too.
put them into more things and I like them now.
Yeah,
I will
and
eat
that,
them.
you can, bring it down to a stage where you don't even notice them.
Yeah.
I hate that rubbery texture from.
Oh yeah, I'm not there like yet,
Yeah.
like, you know, but I chop it up and I
Chop it up as
hide.
tiny as possible, and it's the same with the carrots you'll see later on. We chop them up as tiny as possible because you don't want something hard into your bolognese sauce. But the herbs and spices contribute to a healthy immune system, and they have antioxidant properties as well.
So also what's quite nice in it too was the red wine, which as you can see I probably went a little bit overkill as well. Like you can see in the video, I'm enjoying my red wine while I'm at it.
What is it you say? Go with your heart. Measure with your heart.
Measure with your heart.
Yeah,
measure
so-
with your heart.
yeah.
So it's so we put in was like red wine, the soy sauce, tomato puree. Like they added like a lot of depth and flavor to it. Like, you know, so absolutely measure that red wine with your heart. But then also, you know, they also contribute like a lot of antioxidants. And then there's that other special word that I can never pronounce. Phytonutrients. Phytonutrients. It was like, and the phytonutrients as well. So this recipe takes about 10 minutes to prep. And then about,
I think we left it for maybe 45 minutes while we were yapping and having a glass of wine because, you know, a glass.
It was social.
Glass of wine. It was a social, but that's what we do because it's making it a social thing doesn't make it seem like it's hard work.
Yeah.
And it's trying new recipes and you're like, oh, I'm not really sure. I'm not making a whole dinner just for me. So like, I invited my friend around and we tried this recipe, had our natter, had our glasses of wine, and it ended up being a beautiful recipe indeed. So here we have our video of our best bolognese recipe. High speed. And this like took us 10 minutes on high speed, but that was with our nattering and cooking time and everything. So this recipe per serving, it is 270 calories, 15 grams of carbs, and 5 grams of protein.
I'm just looking at like, you're already finished your onion and I'm still chopping away. That thing seems to be the norm for us there.
Yeah.
So when you're kicking off this recipe, you have to rehydrate the mince as it actually says on the, like follow the instructions on the package. Like it's very important to kind of do that, and then you can set it aside. Then you dice then your onions very finely, which I put a lot of care and attention into doing there. And then you add then the onions then to, it's a medium-high heat?
Medium-high heat.
Medium-high heat with a dash of water.
Dash of water, good woman. I noticed that we didn't use oil in this, and when you're cooking your onions, you can just add a little bit of water if you think that it's topping off, if it's starting to burn. You want to keep stirring that. So then we want to add our finely chopped garlic. I don't particularly like chopping garlic. I feel like it takes too long and then my fingers are smelly afterwards for days afterwards. So I don't like it, so I use the crushinator. So it's a handy little gadget just for crushing out, and it gets the juices of the garlic into it. So I crushionate it right into the pot.
I'm doing a great job with these little in shots.
And you did a fantastic job in those in shots, yeah. So here we are chopping our mushrooms. We use chestnut mushrooms here. You can use if you have a particular preference for mushrooms or have a variety of them. We're also chopping them really finely, chopping the carrot really finely as well because it's going to be chunky. You want to have it as fine as possible so it'll cook easier, so it'll be softer, so it'll melt into that sauce and melt into those juices.
I love the way you have to read through all of the method and stuff like that here, because as you can see, I've done nothing, only just filming you now to get the whole thing, get it all to work. No way me trying to remember the steps. But I do remember though when we were doing this, like that you were saying that because we're using soy mince, not regular mince, is lower in saturated fat. So sometimes then it's a little bit wetter than what you might expect it to be. So I think we added some gluten-free corn flour, wasn't it? Corn flour into it then as well.
Or gluten-free flour is fine, yeah.
Yeah, just to thicken it up a bit.
And here I opened a bottle of red wine, cheapest chips in the supermarket. Well, as cheap as you can get wine these days. But yeah, and it was a little glass of wine for the rest of the glass of wine for you. I'm not a lover of red wine, but that particular wine did smell delicious. And it was a full-bodied red wine, so it really helped bring the body out in the recipe. And yeah, it made it smell delicious.
Oh, at this point now, I was filming over you and just the waft that was coming through was like amazing.
did smell delicious. Yeah. And we were like,
Ching!
kitchen queen.
There you go.
So here we are smelling our what's the word?
The aroma.
The aroma. Enjoying
Basking in the
aroma.
ambience. Basking in the ambience of it.
Ambience. So we chose to use gluten-free spaghetti this time around.
Free for me. I am the awkward person. And actually, the mince that you picked up as well, just it was gluten-free as well, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's quite easy now to find it now as well these days, so that was very good.
So yeah, we added the gluten-free spaghetti to the pot, boiled it up for 10 minutes or so. And
I forgot to do something, didn't I?
Becky missing the shots that she was supposed to take.
Oh, yeah.
The close-up shots. And she's busy enjoying her red wine.
Yeah.
So now it's my turn to enjoy the white wine.
That's how it's brought up for the conversation. That's the conversation that's there.
Yeah. And that was the important part of the night, was the ketchup and the natter. While
I'm obviously saying something very interesting. It's like tolerant, or whatever I'm talking about. Now something is going up. Oh, I remember my job here.
Okay, so now doesn't that look exactly like bolognese should look? It doesn't look any different. Nobody's going to notice. And we did a little wiggle there, just for the taste test. And I almost give you a taste test in a minute.
God, we talk a lot.
And that's sped up.
Yeah, that is sped up.
Because to be fair, we had 30-40 minutes to wait, So I'm doing the smell test. And this was your almost taste test, but you can't double dip. So it's like, smell this.
You can see how disappointed I was, because the stomach was rumbling at this time. Like, the smell in the kitchen was amazing.
Yeah, and it was later on a Friday evening, and we'd already had a glass of wine, so we were extra hungry. You can see that in our portions later on. They weren't exactly lean portions when we were doing it. So
the soy mince helps with the calories. So.
Yeah, you just need to keep an eye on it. So while it's cooking, simmering along, just to make sure it's it's mixing up and it's not sticking to the pot, of course. And you can drop a little bit more water in.
Countdown.
So yeah, we're on the countdown now for the spaghetti as well. So a tip I found that works well for me, I don't know about you, because you're more gluten-free than I would be. I have a gluten intolerance as opposed to allergy. So it just doesn't agree with me, but I can certainly have a little bits here and there. But the gluten-free pasta, I notice, can be a little starchy, so it can be a little stodgy. So what I tend to do is that when I'm draining it out, I'll run over a hot kettle of water, and that takes off the starch. Because and it does. It takes all that goop away and just leaves the product. And I find it's great because normally when I'm making bolognese, I'll make the bolognese and I make the pasta.
The non-burny handy thing.
The non-burny handy thing. The really technical explanation for that. If you mix up the bolognese with the pasta and it's got loads of starch in, it'll actually change the texture. It'll change the whole taste of the sauce. So there we are, draining off now. I don't think I did the rinsing with water at that stage. I think I was too darn hungry. But we did also warm the plates.
Just means you have to make it again for me now, and then I'll tell you if there's a difference.
So we did warm the plates as well. I also top tip if you're doing a pasta or rice dish, it's hard. They'll go cold really quickly. So warm the plates first. You don't need to scald them or anything like that, but a couple of minutes just to take the chill out of them makes all the difference in keeping your food warm. I don't like eating cold food, so here we are. We are dishing up, and yes, our portions were very healthy because we were hungry.
Yeah. It was very, very, very good food, though.
Really good food, and smelled delicious, and that makes all the difference. And you're like, just give me the food, just hurry up.
No, I'm already thinking now. I could eat that again.
Stop with the fuss and just dish it up, dish it up.
And I'm like, oh, this looks lovely. Am I eating it now? Do you want to present it for a little bit long?
And I'm like, no.
Is that plant meant to go on it?
Yeah. But it's too hot to eat. Look, it's steaming at that stage. And they were like, too hot to eat. And we're like, but we're so hungry.
I think I tried to offer you a spoon there to kind of go, do you want to do it the right way?
Yeah.
And they're like, no. Although I go
and
for my knife, I tend to use a knife.
I do too, yeah. And I'd say people saw me, real Italians
Oh yeah,
saw me that
I did go for the knife. I know me too well.
I was breaking in the pasta, and I break it in half and I put it in. Italians will hate me for that. But you can see by my face there that I am thoroughly enjoying that, and I'm like, that's just nice.
I'm messy and clumsy enough as it is. Like, you may as well just give me the proper vehicles to get it into my mouth in one go.
Yeah, I need a bib for a bolognese because it's invariably just all going to go down in front of me.
Oh well, I purposely wore red, so as you can see, and so I wouldn't be getting the splatters.
And I'm like, stop talking, I'm eating. I can't talk anymore. I'm busy. So that is our best bolognese sauce, and don't be put off by the fact that it's meatless. We can testify that it
was very
delicious.
tasty, yeah.
Wouldn't know the difference, and it's so good for you, and it's so quick, and it's one of the family favorites. So everyone, you don't have to make separate meals for you, and separate meals for the kids, or the husband, or the partner, or whatever the case may be. So yes, highly recommend this.
Yeah, snuck it to a few people now, and they haven't got a clue, which is very good.
So don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Comment, post any of your comments and questions. Feel free to get in touch.
And share with your friends.